All right, we're about to dive into a pretty radical vision for the future. We're talking about a world where the entire engine of our global economy gets a complete rewrite, all based on a concept called absolute automation.
So what are you looking at right now? That's $1 quadrillion. Now, according to the source material we're digging into, this isn't just some crazy hypothetical number. No, this represents the value of the entire global economy, the very moment we hit a technological tipping point called the quadrillion switch.
Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this automated future, we've got to first understand the problem it's trying to solve. The source material we're looking at points to one single fundamental limitation, a bottleneck that right now puts a ceiling on pretty much all human progress. And there it is. This is the whole ballgame. Every factory, every supply chain, every bit of software we create, it doesn't matter how automated it is, eventually a human being has to step in and fix it. That reliance on us, on human maintenance, is described as the ultimate bottleneck, the single point of failure in literally every system we have. This really lays it all out, doesn't it? What we have today is automation that's just incremental. It always needs a person to come in and repair it, which, makes it prone to human error. But this vision of absolute automation, that's a whole different animal. We're talking about self-repairing systems that would allow for explosive, exponential growth with basically zero friction. So, how in the world do we break through that ceiling? Well, the whole idea hinges on one massive breakthrough, a core solution that just changes the entire equation: absolute self-repair.
And this is the tipping point. The argument here is that the second we remove that human bottleneck, the potential for growth just becomes, well, limitless. The curve doesn't just get a little steeper, it goes vertical.
So what does this self-repair cycle actually look like in practice? Well, the source material breaks it down into 4 stages. First up, you've got AI networks that are constantly scanning systems for even the tiniest flaws. Then, robots print replacement parts in milliseconds. After that, swarms of nanobots heal any damaged surfaces, all in real time. And finally, a global AI web balances all the resources instantly. It's just this constant, seamless loop of self-maintenance. The implication of this is just staggering. I mean, think about it. If systems can build, run, and repair themselves, the need for human labor in the production economy doesn't just go down, it completely disappears. The source describes this as a permanent, irreversible decoupling. And this is where things get really, really wild. What happens to our world when the cost of making, well, anything, collapses to pretty much zero?
Let's just try to visualize what's being projected here. Today's global GDP is what? Around $100 trillion. The argument is that in this post-switch world, that number becomes almost meaningless. The vision is of Earth becoming a kind of wealth engine with no ceiling, where economic growth isn't just big, it's absolutely explosive.
This is a massive mental shift. In this kind of new economy, wealth isn't about hoarding or accumulating anymore. It's about the speed at which the automated system can produce and deliver whatever is needed right when it's needed. The source actually has a name for this: infinite wealth. It's an economy that isn't defined by scarcity anymore, but by universal abundance, where the friction of cost has just been completely stripped out of the equation.
So what does all this actually mean for you and me for everyday life? The source paints a pretty incredible picture of a world with zero-cost living. Imagine living spaces being printed on demand anywhere in the world, food grown in automated vertical farms, clothing printed instantly, transportation running with no human oversight at all. In a world like that, concepts we live with every day, like debt and poverty, would just become obsolete.
And this brings us right back to that insane number from the beginning. The company, the organization, the system that first pulls this off, that first achieves absolute automation, would, according to the source, unlock that quadrillion-dollar valuation basically by becoming the engine that runs the entire planet.
Okay, so if the economy is running itself and survival is guaranteed for every single person on Earth, that leaves us with the biggest question of all. What do we do? What on earth becomes humanity's purpose?
According to this vision, this is the most profound shift in the human story. I mean, for our entire history, the #1 driver has been survival. The argument is that once an automated system takes care of all our needs, we, for the first time, finally free to pursue something more.
So what would that purpose even be? The source suggests a huge new chapter for us, a world where creators can just thrive in total abundance. A world where our focus shifts to gathering resources from space,
building civilizations on other planets, and, expanding our presence throughout the entire universe. Now, of course, the source acknowledges that a shift this massive would face some serious resistance. It contrasts what it calls our outdated systems, endless regulatory meetings, labor disputes, economic fears, with the sheer efficiency of an automated future. The source posits that progress gets held back by what it describes as small minds, or basically people who haven't yet grasped this new reality.
But here's the kicker. Despite that resistance, this transformation isn't presented as a choice. The source material frames it as an inevitability, a really powerful statement that the momentum behind this kind of technology is just unstoppable.
And so, that brings us to the ultimate question this entire vision leaves us with. In a world of infinite resources and zero required labor, where that daily fight for survival is finally over, the only real question left for us to answer is, what do we want to become?